Alright, we're going to be watching Angrath, who's playing Reinhardt. This is an unranked game, but they are Platinum 4 usually, but they on Sigma and Hog. How do I impact the game as Reinhardt? I'm a Plat 4 tank, recently promoted, and usually play Sigma or Hog. With both of them, I always seem to have a greater impact on the game, be it through kills or just tanking damage. Yet when it comes to Rein, I always seem to lack impact. I try my hardest not to shield bot and just stand there, in a sense. I try to be as aggressive as best as I can, but it feels like diving in squishies, as many people recommend, is impossible as I die instantly. I like Rein a lot and find them fun to use, but simultaneously agonizing when things don't go well. I don't have any comp replays recently, but this is a code for an unranked game. Alright, so I was reading the comments here. A lot of the comments are like, hey, swing the hammer more, charge in. They're not wrong, but it's extremely reductive, and I think maybe even not so helpful. I think you understand that you need to be aggressive, you just don't understand when to be aggressive. So this is going to be a pretty short video, probably, where I'm just going to go over maybe your first two lives and explain like what you're doing wrong and why, and how to play differently. So you're going to start right here. If you're going to start here, you might as well throw a Fire Strike towards the spawn door. I mean, pretty good opportunity to get ult charge. Rein farming ult charge is a huge part of what you do, right? I think you and like Zarya are probably the two ones that like critically need to farm ult as fast as you can. And Rein farms ult extremely quickly, very, very fast. It's not impossible to get ult in one fight. So very, very important to note. So you should throw a Fire Strike there, but let's think for a second, right? Just in terms of positioning. So you have a Kiriko, you have a Zen, you guys are all playing really far up against this corner, which is not like the worst plan. There's some items that can punish you, but it's actually sometimes doable. Just note here is that this corner, super dangerous. This corner is okay, right? But this corner is very safe. Just thinking about the three possible corners. So the closer you are to spawn, the more dangerous it will get for you, just as a general note. But you can play right here. One thing to think about is, when I hold a shield, what is the purpose, right? Am I actually accomplishing anything with the shield, or am I just holding the shield to hold the shield because I'm not sure what to do here? So for example, right now, you could still be fire striking here. You could even swing at this corner, right? Just swing, because your hammer goes a lot further than you might imagine. And I will also link my Reinhardt techniques video to understand how much further your hammer can swing. It goes farther than you think it does if you swing your camera sideways, and it'll extend the hitbox just due to the way the mechanics work. Anyway, from here, you could swing, and it'll go like roughly, it won't hit them right now, but it'll go roughly like this distance, and it'll keep them away from the corner, right? I don't generally suggest playing this corner to begin with, but if you are playing this corner, I'm just noting that you can actually get pretty far, and you could get like a 3-4 person Fire Strike right now if you chucked it in. So, what you don't want to do is you don't want to get away from the corner. When you go wide of the corner, which is when you go farther out, like this is wide, this is close, right? Wide, close. When you go wide of the corner, more people on the enemy team can hit you. Okay, so for example, if I'm standing right here, I can't see you. But if you go wider, right, of the cab, then all of a sudden I can see you. So be very careful about going wide of corners as Reinhardt. You have no advantage to playing wide of corners because you have a close range attack, right? Your hammer swing. So if I want to be fighting somebody, let's imagine this room. This room's a good example, okay? If I want to be fighting somebody, I want to stay really close to the corner. If they want to push me, they got to go through the doorway into me. Versus if they're standing here, right? If I go wide of the corner, they can see me, and I can't do anything about it, right? Because I have a melee attack and they have a ranged attack, so they can shoot me. It's the same concept for all corners whenever you're playing Reinhardt. I think you're probably not used to this because you play Sigma and Roadhog, but it's so important to play very, very tight to corners as much as you can, pretty much all the time. It seems like a small thing, but it's not. It's a really, really big deal. But number one is when you go wide of the corner, more people can shoot you. Number two problem of going wide of the corner is you're farther away from cover. If I'm right here, right over here, I can step in and I'm in cover. But if I'm here, I need to walk all the way over to here before I'm in cover, which is a much longer walk, and you can die in that period of time. Anyway, so at this point in time, they've knocked you backwards. You can't do anything right now. Trying to walk into 5 people is a death sentence, right? Also noting that your team is going to lose line of sight because they're all going to back up here. So your goal is now to play this corner. I don't generally think this is a good corner for you to play, but like, let's ignore that's kind of like a macro level concept of like which corner should I be playing. But since we're focusing on the micro right now, if you're fighting for this corner, you should be playing here right now, not here, right? So you back up here, which is fine. This is a bad Fire Strike, very clearly. You should just aim for the back line, okay? The Reaper here, I mean, if you can hit him with it, great. I would assume he would step here, but you can get a multi-hit if you just fire at the back line right now. But with Vortex down, right? With Vortex down, with them pushed all the way back, you can't do anything, right? Your swings do nothing. The Reaper's going to leave in a second. Don't play wide of the corner. Play close to the corner. Nothing you can do right now. It's not your job to kill anyone right now. Okay, don't charge in. Don't do anything crazy. Just play close to the corner and just wait. Patience is really important on all tanks. Understand when to go. And you're going to see that you're going to get stuck here in the open because you don't know what you're supposed to be doing right now. Okay? You see how you're all the way out here? This is bad. This is really, really bad. At higher ranks, you just get melted instantly if you try to do this. You see how you try to come back and you're like, wait, why are you swinging right now? There's no one here. Don't swing, right? Just play close to the corner. You're burning resources, taking damage right now for no reason. Like, your swings are not doing anything. Play close to the corner. When they step up, like where they are right now, then come out and start swinging, right? Don't just sit in the open like this. Really, really bad habit on all tanks. Very lucky the Reaper dies there. See how low you get? You're down to 113. Right, again, Kiriko's trying to heal you. I would be very careful even dropping shield right now. As a general rule for Reinhardt, do not swing if you have less than half health. As a good general rule for Reinhardt is if you have less than half health, assume you will die almost instantly if you take down your shield. So when you're approaching half health, you either need to have a shield or you need to have cover. Obviously, there are exceptions to this rule, but as a general rule for someone who's first trying to play Reinhardt, I would say if you have less than half health or less, do not be aggressive. Right? So, yep, chill, just play in the corner. Just be patient. That's all you gotta do. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to charge in right now and try to kill anybody. Like, it's kind of crazy to do that. Just play the corner. You've lost one, which means you're probably gonna lose this fight, but is what it is. So you get a multi-hit there. So you're gonna get this good triple, but you see how you could put shield up right now, but you see you're just staring at them, and you see how much damage you end up taking out of this? Now you're low. Now you're at 334 health, and you lost most of your shield as a result. And now you can hear / see them rotating. So the thing about all tanks is you generally, well, this is complicated. For all brawl tanks, you generally want to mirror the opposing tank and team's movement. So if they try to go main, you want to stop them main. If they try to flank you this way, you want to already be here. So you see that you're actually out of position right now because you're basically trying to defend main right now, but they're going to rotate inside and you should already be moving over here early. I would even just go for this Lucio right now because the Lucio is kind of out of position. So, big difference, by the way, between being here and being here. Here, much better. This side, not so good, because they're going to force you on one end, and then the soldier, who shouldn't be dead right now, is going to come out of spawn and then shoot your backside and kill your backline. You want to already be here to have allowed your team to rotate behind you. This is a bad charge. So, as a reminder, when I say, hey, when you're at half health, generally don't be hyper aggressive. So, standing here, swing, great. Also remember that Reinhardt Hammer has a lingering hitbox. Again, my techniques video kind of demonstrates this better, but you can swing around corners as a result. So you can start a swing here, then come around the corner, and instantly hit them with a hammer, versus staring in their face and then starting the hammer swing. Anyway, so from here, you're going to be discorded, and you see that you're going to drop down to half health. Now, granted, you didn't know that you'd be at half health. Like, you started the charge at half health, but as a general rule, do not walk through enemy shields. As a general rule, especially since you can attack through it, right? You don't even need to step to the shield to do a ton of damage, right? Just swing. Every swing you swing does 85 damage. 85 times 3 people is 255 damage per swing right now with no fire strikes. You don't need to walk to the shield at all. You're gonna win this fight just swinging here. Swing. They're all dead, right? And or they're gonna get forced back, especially since their team has no healing with Lucio Zen. You do not need to charge through this. This is a reckless decision. And of course, I'm sure it's really hard for you to be like, oh, when do I go through, when do I not go through? As a general rule, right, and this is why general rules are helpful for when you first start playing like a tank. For Reinhardt, as a general rule, do not go through shields, do not attack when you're at half health or below. Now you're here, you should just be dead right now. You're extremely lucky to not be dead right now. I think that the Ramatra didn't even miss a punch on you. Yeah, this punch would have killed you, right? You see how he whiffs that punch completely? So that punch would have done 80 damage. You're at 21 right now. You should be dead right now. You're extremely lucky to not be dead right now. Yeah, really, really bad idea. Also, side note, when you're playing against Ramatra as a tank, do not walk in line with your team. So when you're backing away from the Ramatra, don't walk into your Zen, who you know is here, because you can see the Zen on your screen. So when you're retreating, retreat to the right, and let the Zen retreat to the left. That way, if the Ramatra focuses you, your Zen doesn't get hit. But if he focuses the Zen, you can keep attacking him for free. See how you're lined up with them? You see how both of you are getting punched? This is bad. This is really bad. And you see your Zen's going to die for this. And then you're going to die for that. So, again, really bad charge, right? Just play corners, right? And just swing at people and force them to come in. If you're ever in a situation where you're like, hey, I can't swing at them. So, for example, if you're playing this corner, which is the default corner to play in Midtown, if you're playing this corner and they're all standing all the way out here shooting you, just hide, right? Just sit around the corner and be like, yep, I'm just going to sit here and literally just wait. Throw a fire strike occasionally, but just chill and just wait. And if your team is going to lose by you waiting, then you shouldn't be playing Reinhardt. is the short answer, right? Because some maps are like that. Circuit Royale, Junkertown, right? Havana are really good examples of maps where Reinhardt is really, really bad at them because they're very long sightlines. There's nothing you can do. But there are tons of maps that are really good at close range brawly fights. So, for example, like Oasis University is a really good Rein map. King's Row is another example of a good Rein map. So you have to think, hey, am I playing the right tank for the situation? The good news is that you already play Sigma, who's really good at these open field fights. Okay, that's first life. So second life, let's come out here, and you're gonna come up and try to contest, which is good. Right? Try to fire strike, just chill. Yep, take the mini, take the mini. No reason not to take the mini. Right? Go for the Ramantra. He's discorded. He's low, and then you're going to shatter. This actually ends up being a good play. I personally wouldn't have done this because it's super risky, but you do manage to insta-kill him with the shatter hit and the discord, which is great. Now, the key here is you need to contest the point because you have, like, no time. Actually, you're not going to contest the point. Yeah, see, this is the reason why I wouldn't have done this, because you're going to end up killing him, but because you can't contest the point anyway, this ends up being a wasted fight and a wasted ulti. It doesn't actually help you at all. You should have just given up the point and played here, right, and contested for the next point. So I would say this ends up not working out well in your favor. You do force trans unnecessarily. There's no reason to fight here. This, and this has to do with map knowledge and less to do with Reinhardt, this section should not be considered space that the defenders play at all after the point is capped. You should be playing on the other side of this choke somewhere. So here, or here, or here, or here, right? Or here are all valid spots to play as a tank. Here, not a valid spot. The reason being is they're going to spawn here and they're going to swarm you and kill you. You just can't play out here. There's no cover for you, right? And they're just going to walk out and they're going to wear you down pretty quickly, right? You're chasing the Reaper here, which is questionable, right? Again, obviously, remember, he can also teleport away from you easily. So this is a huge waste of time, and now you're out of position. So you see they're going to burn you down. Again, lots of teams often have abilities that will even stop you from returning to your team. So you should not do this, right? When you force that Reaper Wraith, right, call this a win. Just call it a win. And just go after the Zen, for example. The Zen has no ability. If you charge the Zen, Zen dies. There's no reason to be chasing Reaper, who's faster in Wraith form and can teleport away from you. So this is a mistake. And then you're going to come back. You're trying to play this close corner for some reason. Your Zen's transing for some reason. Beats popped. So at this point, just hold the corner, right? Just hold the corner and swing. That's all you can do. There's nothing else that you can do right now that's going to change anything. You can't retreat from here as Reinhardt. So just see how you're standing in the doorway and getting shot? Stand here, swing, and you'll hit through the doorway, even through walls, sort of. It's a little complicated to explain. You get a feel for it. But you can just hit them without them being able to attack you, right? That's a really key part about playing Reinhardt. You can get super low, and then you're going to die. Just in the interest of completeness, let's cover offense a little bit. Oh, right. This is not going to be an offense because this is quick play. Gotcha. All right. Anyway, hopefully that is like a general primer for like how to be playing Rein. I do have a Reinhardt gameplay guide that I think will be super helpful for you. I have a Reinhardt techniques guide, which you 100% should watch. That's only like 5 minutes long. You should definitely watch that for sure to get a feel for playing Reinhardt. Okay. Hope this is helpful.